Welcome back to the SPL. We got Young Link now casting the Young Lad, along with Ryan, Aggro, Bailey.
Yeah, you are casting the Young Lad, aren't you?
That's exactly right. I had to change my notes. I had ALG. I got to put Salsa Squadron in here now. Come on. What's going on, Aggro? How are you feeling about this set?
I'm excited to watch Cryptik play. I mean, this is a team that is really on the up and up towards the end of this split, and I think that they have a lot of potential. I mean, they're one of my picks to go all the way through this NA Gauntlet.
Oh, I think that they have a really good chance to make it through it. The way that it is, it's going to be 4 best-of-3 sets. You win, you get to keep on going. That's what Salsa Squadron are doing right now. They took down ALG 2-0. Now they're up against Cryptik, and they'll have Noble waiting beyond that. But they got to make it through Cryptik first.
This is the real test for me, is up against Team Cryptik for Salsa Squadron. Look, Allegiance is a shell of their former selves. They really didn't look like themselves during that last set. And while I don't want to take anything away from Salsa Squadron, because they did a lot of things very, very well, they team fought well, their objective control was solid, they worked together as a unit, how well can they do that against a team that isn't just letting them do all of that? Cryptik is not going to just roll over.
I think it's a kind of a test for Cryptik, too. If Cryptik really want to make it to the end of this gauntlet realistically, I kind of think they need a 2-0 here to show that. Like, show that they're capable of going up against Vigilant by winning here. Not that Salsa Squadron's bad, but you should be able to 2-0 a challenger team if you want to go to Super Regional.
Certainly Cryptik is favored in this matchup, and you want to just play as few games as possible, as little game time as possible in order to keep yourself fresh for this long gauntlet run.
Yeah, and then Salsa Squadron, if y'all want to make the same runs, I genuinely believe the same applies for them, as we do have those picks and bans ready here for you. If you want to be able to go a long way, it's going to be hard to do if you got a 2-1. Everybody can meet. So show us you can hang with them and have it go out here in this game. But are there anyone in particular that you're looking out for? I mean, I think in particular, Vetium and Sops could be a big matchup. I mean, Sops kind of went off in that first set.
That's going to be really big. I'm looking at that matchup as well as ShadowChair in that mid lane up against Sheyka. I mean, these are the two guys who... Sheyka is one of the leaders of Salsa Squadron. He's been in the SPL before. ShadowChair new to that role, not the mid lane role, but the role of a SPL level mid laner. How well can he kind of prove that he deserves that spot, and can he really expose Salsa Squadron in the mid lane?
And we're seeing that Izanami pick come out right away.
Wow.
For a little while, we didn't have much Izanami. She came out last set, and after her changes, I'm not too surprised.
No, this is a god that has a ton of potential. I mean, best clear in the game. Period. She doesn't have to spend any mana to clear the wave because of the way her auto attacks work. Plus, Spectral Projection is a great wave clear ability in its own right. So even if you need to use some mana to quick clear, you can. Having a more reliable escape, a more reliable ultimate, it equals Izanami being a top pick.
And I'm not surprised to see Chaac picked at all. I mean, okay. But first pick. Why first pick Chaac? I
mean, Allegiance banded away against Salsa Squadron. They have a strategy that I'm not privy to, apparently, because the Chaac must be critical. But keep in mind, fineokay will play that Chaac in the solo lane. So this is probably a little bit of, we don't want to lose this pick away to Cryptik.
I like this Cabrakan pick, though. Right now, it looks like between the Izanami and the Cabrakan, they do have a lot of aggression, a lot of damage early. Sylvanus also, we've seen him be very strong at setting up. Yeah,
this is a really early game-centric composition so far from Cryptik. But that's the thing that makes Izanami so powerful, is that her late game is also insane.
Yeah,
I mean, that is one of the best steroids in the game.
It's so good.
It's crazy. So Cryptik is not going to be lacking in the late game so far, but they will have a strong early game.
Now, Amaterasu is the pick that come up from Salsa Squadron. We've seen them play this year in these last two. So clearly Amaterasu, and like you said, the Chaac being banned away, these are some picks that Salsa Squadron have felt successful on, and they really highly value them.
I mean, you got to make someone prove that they're ready for it, I suppose, is kind of the mantra of Salsa Squadron. And is Cryptik ready for that Amaterasu? Can use that mobility? They got plenty of mobility here. I mean, you're talking a global from Athena, a global from Janus. You've got the movement speed from Amaterasu that not only for her, but for the entire team as well. Plenty of ways to get around for Salsa Squadron.
Now, talk to me about this. Salsa Squadron banned away 2 mid laners, neither one of them Thoth. They banned away Ra and Scylla. Do they just feel comfortable going against this Thoth? Or?
ShadowChair's god pool is Ra and Scylla are the first 2 gods that come to mind. Thoth is very close behind those 2, and with how much setup Cryptik has, it is scary, but you could say the same for either Scylla or Ra in that same vein. Plus, that heal for Ra, adding into the heal from Sylvanus, that would be a lot of sustain that Salsa Squadron has to add up to kind of bring down. And look, Amaterasu is great at chasing down low health targets and making life difficult, but burst damage, not really her jam. So taking that healing off the board and making sure that people will be low health for her to clean up is a good idea from Salsa Squadron.
Salsa Squadron round out that comp with Cernunnos being picked up for Sops. I was going to ask you who you thought was going to go to the jungle here, but a little too late. Sam for Soccer going to take that Cabrakan for Team Cryptik and let fineokay take this Chulainn into the solo lane here, going up against Bra. Already, though, we do see the Horrific Emblem coming out for the slow counter sprint immediately to get them away from that hammer from Chaac and get him out of danger.
But fineokay still takes a little bit of poke from that little engagement. Horrific Emblem's on a 10-second shorter cooldown than the sprint. It's not a big window that Horrific Emblem will have over the sprint, but there is some advantage there to being the aggressors with the Horrific Emblem.
And I want to talk a little bit here. We see they're letting Vetium start over here alone in the duo lane, and then it looks like sops going to have a little bit of help clearing out there. It looks possibly with Mineral helping him out. We talked about how high clear ADCs are so important, but Stanford Soccer doing so much damage in the solo lane. Let me do my analysis, bruh. Getting the kill.
First blood goes Salsa Squadron's way. Sam just doesn't respect how much damage.
Or my analysis.
Or your analysis, clearly. He just doesn't want to hear it, John. That's why you're in the one chair and you leave the analysis to someone else. No, he just he tanks up those minions because Trimple, while great at clearing waves, does do damage to enemy gods as well. As speed buff invade goes successfully for Salsa Squadron, hitting them level 2, but Bruh still on the run, and fineokay gonna claim a life in response. Not the kill, not the first blood, and it doesn't help Sam get to level 2, but at least gives a lead back to fineokay in that solo lane.
Pretty important for fineokay to be the one that picks that kill up after Bruh secured one earlier on. Now he'll be able to go and get this mini wave and maybe even try and push some of these as Bruh slowly meanders his way back into lane. Geno and ShadowChair were a big part of that, though, making that rotation over.
And that's where the start for Cryptik ends up working out really well for them, because Mineral and Sops are able to steal away the red buff on the left-hand side and the purple buff from Vetium, but it meant that the mid lane from Cryptik could rotate faster.
More action over here. Bruh once again getting caught out, pulled back in. fineokay getting credited with 2 quick kills out in front.
This is how Cryptik wanted this game to go, except for that first blood. Getting fineokay a quick lead in this solo lane. If there's one guy on this roster that I want to give a lead to and say, hey, go murder people for us real quick, it's fineokay.
And Vetium's been, not Vetium, but Geno rather, has been a big part of it for him here in the mid lane, helping to set up the route, forcing Sheyka to get out of there. Had to use beads too, able to use the portal to retreat, but that's a long cooldown he's sitting on as once again more trouble in solo.
Blink used there by Sam for Soccer, a little bit ambitious, trying to find a kill right on the tower line. fineokay's big, but not that big quite yet, as Vetium ends up losing this poke trade so far to Sops, but Sops, having used that second ability, won't be able to clear the wave, whereas Vetium, again, with those auto attacks, will be able to, no problem.
And Cernunnos will have a slight advantage here since he's going to be able to go through those different stances. We can see him, I think, in that lifesteal stance, so he's getting some extra life back off that minion wave, so the trade's going a little bit in his favor over there in duo, and now we're taking a look over here in mid.
But Vetium's got the Death Toll, whereas Sops went for Bluestone. So Vetium's going to be able to heal up off that wave just via his auto attacks, whereas Sops only has that spring stance. And in the early stages, it's really not very much HP that you're getting back.
And I like that when you see it on those types of AD carries, there's more aggression from fineokay and Sam for Soccer. Yunglad not really under any true trouble, though, over here. Still pretty tanky over in the solo lane, but that's what I like in the diversity we have in some of these hunters. You know, sometimes someone like Cupid or someone that's got a ability to sustain in their kit, they don't always have to rely on that Death Toll, can instead go with like the Bluestone we see for Sops.
And it works out well because Cernunnos has that second ability that ticks for a long time, that sits on the ground for a long time. So anyone who even walks over it after the initial deploy is going to get hit with those Bluestone ticks and kind of add in to that early clear that Cernunnos already really excels at. Problem is, he's against Izanami, who just has a better clear ability and spectral projection because you don't have to go to the side of the wave. You can just hit it the whole way through without stepping to the side. And she's got her auto attacks on top of that.
Drops the ultimate on top of Sops as well, but Sops is okay. He realizes that, you know, he's got a way to get a little bit more sustain back, and he's still plenty safe. The invade happening, though, from Team Cryptik onto the speed buff one more time. Defender of Olympus came out, but it wasn't enough. ShadowChair cleaning up the young lad. Bruh's here, though, and he's looking for a little bit more on Sam for Soccer.
But Sam's got the sprint. He's too quick. Bruh's only level 4. No ultimate available for the Chaac, and fineokay is going to claim his third. All 3 onto his lane opponent in Bruh. And a level 4 Chaac at 4 minutes, down 2 levels in the solo lane. He's got me saying bruh for sure.
And he's
like, bruh, you're behind on Chaac.
And he took the hand of the gods too. So this is definitely not how he envisioned this start going for him. Hand of the gods to me says, I want to secure these objectives.
This is not a good start for Salsa Squadron on the right side of the map, especially when you think about the fact that they first picked this Chaac for him, and he's now 2.5, 3 levels down in the solo lane. You mentioned Hand of the Gods is going to make it so his team fight is really weak in comparison to the sprint from fineokay, who's very, very far ahead. I mean, Geno's level 6, bruh, just now hitting level 5. I'd favor Geno in that 1v1 at this point.
And I agree with you. It feels like the idea from Bruh was that they wanted to try and go like an invade path in this early game, and it's been almost the exact opposite. Sometimes you take a solo lane over there and you're kind of okay if they end up a little bit behind, but that seems like that was not what Salsa Squadron were looking for here. Instead, falling well behind. Good pull from Geno. Not going to be any real follow-up or anything, but just kind of showed he can hit those plugs.
And just a little bit of poke onto Sheyka as well, but Sheyka being this low on mana, probably going to be heading back to base soon enough anyways, so doesn't end up being super impactful, but you're right. Just a little, hey, heads up. I've got this in the arsenal. I can pull you without any sort of setup.
And there's something to that, too. Got to keep that in mind, that he is able to hit those pulls even without any kind of setup and getting some reads on you. So you don't even feel safe back there in your own jungle. Got to worry if Sylvanus is pulling you back into danger.
And ShadowChair on this Thoth, he was the one who picked up the kill on the yunglad on that speed buff invade. Had a very aggressive positioning, was actually the one farthest into Salsa Squadron's jungle, but no one's really looked at him thus far. And if Salsa Squadron don't make an adjustment there, start to focus down ShadowChair, I mean, Thoth putting out that artillery damage is really impactful.
Good wall from Sam for Soccer that slowed him down, even though he had the CC immunity from his ult. Defender of Olympus being channeled by Mineral, keeping him alive for the moment, keeping him alive throughout the end of the fight. Mineral able to dash on out of there. Great rotation from the support.
Really good heads-up play from both members of Salsa Squadron. Now fineokay is kind of getting baited because Sheyka is here on the right-hand side, finds the portal, and he's going to pick it up, and that's a lot of gold in Sheyka's pocket for finding that kill onto fineokay. A little bit undisciplined there to be that far up in the lane.
Just sticking around a little bit too long. They don't really have any vision on that side either. Salsa Squadron have some defensive wards in response to all this pressure that they've been under, but really only game sense would have been there for fineokay. As Sheyka channels the through space and time. Ooh. It's enough. Get some damage off, but the immediate return stun. Sheyka finishes it with the in-hand.
Really nice play there from Sheyka. Also holds onto the portal just in case he needed it to get out of there. Does cost him his purification beads, but nice aggressive play, and that's what I love to see out of Janus players, and understanding exactly how much damage he's going to do in that particular instance means that he's willing to play confident there, and even go underneath the tower, knows exactly how much damage he's going to take from Sam for Soccer, willing to find the solo kill.
And it feels like that was a rotation that almost had to be made if you're rooting for Salsa Squadron. That solo jungle side of the map had been lost so heavily in the early game. Sheyka's rotation over, getting 2 quick kills on both those targets, helps turn things around as, again, we're seeing an invade over here onto the red buff. Now the blink in for Sam for Soccer and the walls. A little bit off the mark, though, with that final judgment, but it doesn't matter. ShadowChair cleans up yunglad one more time.
Sam, really nice job with these walls thus far on the Cabrakan. ShadowChair probably didn't need the full charge and could have followed it off, shot it off after the CC from Sam, but doesn't end up mattering as you mentioned. But Bruh has now gotten himself in a really decent spot compared to where he was before that kill on the fineokay for Sheyka. There's the kind of warning to all of you players who get a big lead and then try and play real big because of it. Even giving up 1 death is just so much farm for Bruh to be able to catch up. Now it's only a level for fineokay instead of the 3-level lead that he had before.
Taunt on the Vetium, setting up lots of damage for Sops in the return, uses the silence to try and slow it down, but it's just not enough. Sops cleans that up. Good rotation for Mineral to help him out.
And that was because the purification beads from Vetium were down from before, and now Gold Fury being pulled by Salsa Squadron because of the big invade on the right-hand side from Team Cryptik. No one here even close. His Gold Fury is going to go down for him.
And Geno's way here in mid lane, getting successfully zoned out by yunglad. No way to contest that. Really good pull from Salsa Squadron, who now find themselves about 1,500 gold in the lead.
Salsa Squadron, really a team that continues to impress with their map awareness and where they need to be on the map at any given time. In game 1 against Allegiance, it was yunglad realizing the right side of the map was behind, Cyclone Spin was ahead, we were losing our buff, so I'm going to go to the left and play around Sops because he's the one who's getting the majority of the farm. Same sort of thing here. It's yunglad who came over and invaded this red buff, and then that means that you get purification beads out from Vetium, which means that then he gets a chance to get killed in that dual lane by Sops. All these little decisions that Salsa Squadron have been making have ended up working out for them in the long run. Giving up that blue buff on the right-hand side, allowing Cryptik to continue to invade there, means that it's a free Gold Fury, and Bruh gets that gold back that he lost from the buff in the form of the Gold Fury.
Now, Cryptik early on have selected 2 blinks as their relics, so they don't have like the shell, the horrific emblem, those big team fighting ones. They're focusing a little bit more on initiation, so I feel like I want to see them stick on the gas.
Well, they have been at least a little bit, at least for Sam for Soccer. He's been blinking in consistently and finding these engagements, and once he gets that second item online, whether it's going to be a Jade Emperor's Crown to give himself some more power and reduce the physical power of everyone else on Salsa Squadron, which would be a really good pickup here because Geno, where supports are usually going for that item, he went for Lotus Crown instead, which synergizes with the Sylvanus heal. So you cover up that weakness that Sylvanus can have where you're not reducing physical power like you really want your support to be doing. Plus, it would give him that little bit of protection is on his own right and some power. Sam is going to be able to play a little bit more aggressive after that, but he has to watch out for this, and Chulainn coming out from Yunglad coming up after the boots.
Mineral going in actually does force the beads out from ShadowChair. 2-man knockup comes out from Geno as well, but now up in the air is Yunglad getting the 2-man stun, followed up immediately with the through space and time, and the Defender of Olympus, all on to Sam for Soccer. Alston and Sam for Soccer back to base.
fineokay making the rotation in, looking for Sheyka, but can't quite find the ultimate onto him. Nice portal on a fineokay there, but Sheyka needs to be careful about not getting pulled in by Geno. Really nice turnaround there from Salsa Squadron. That was Team Cryptik, who was the ones who started that engagement after ShadowChair had to purify away a taunt from Mineral, but Sam just a little bit late on that blink stun on the Cabrakan. Yunglad was already channeling a CC mid ultimate, so ShadowChair's ultimate now a lot less reliable. He ends up missing, and it's Sam who puts himself in a bad spot very quickly.
And the kills are all even up here, but it's Salsa Squadron who at least have the gold lead. You can see the experience lead's a little bit offset because fineokay is ahead in some places, and then Yunglad might be ahead others, and sops as well. So it's really the gold that's kind of the lead that they're able to hold on to. His experience is all over the map. And Salsa Squadron is doing a good job of showing it, counter initiating, or just kind of pushing issues on the map.
And Vetium was behind pretty significantly on this left-hand side. Right. Now is caught up. He's about half a level down to sops and is willing to even take this trade.
Goes in, ultimate comes out from sops. Vetium a little bit off the mark with it, using that steroid to try and trade, and sops has to back off from it because when she's in that form where she's got the steroid going, she's such a strong boxer. Sam for Soccer though puts down the walls.
Really nice ultimate again from Sam, keeping Sheyka away.
That's a good target.
From the walls to make sure that he can't portal away. ShadowChair's got to get credit.
fineokay now is the one under pressure. The stun comes out outside the tower range, and Yunglad wants to keep going for it. Bravo, maybe not. They do back off. fineokay ends up surviving that gank, but a big kill onto Sheyka, who's been a huge bright spot for Salsa so far, and Tier 1 tower falls in Cryptik's favor.
And that's the power of the push for Team Cryptik. I mean, you've got the Glyph of Pain from Thoth, which is going to amp up that clear. ShadowChair needs to be careful as he got slowed by sops, trying to set up for Mineral's taunt. Good idea out of Salsa Squadron's Hunter, but still a little bit too much space for ShadowChair to get away. And the Sickle Strike steroid for Izanami, just so potent at bringing down those towers. Didn't take long for Salsa Squadron to lose their Tier 1 in mid.
Salsa Squadron do start pulling the Portal Demon, but just to force a commit, ShadowChair gets taken down quickly. Geno goes in, 2-man knockup. Sops is very low, getting to that portal, not quite able to. Geno cleans him up thanks to the Wisps. Now Sheyka's here with the Unstable Vortex coming through the right side. 2-man knockup in the back as well, but it looks like fineokay is going to back on off.
Just can't quite find enough rage to transform into that rage transformation, which would have given him a whole new set of abilities, would have allowed him to chase down Yunglad, but just didn't have enough targets to generate that rage. And it's sops again making the play, ends up paying for it, but the solo kill onto ShadowChair. Salsa Squadron looked like they wanted to do the Portal Demon, and maybe if he comes and helps out, that's the objective instead of the kill. Ends up finding one but losing himself. That's actually a net win for Cryptik because sops was just killing it so far. He was 2-0, had plenty of farm, was tied for top level in the game. So that quick kill means that it's a little bit more golden experience going Cryptik's way than Salsa Squadron's.
And I think Sheyka's been playing this Janus lights out this game. We just saw him get a 2-man portal, which was pretty instrumental in keeping Mineral alive. He was a little bit caught out, pretty low on HP. Might have been out, but that portal peel really helped out.
Now Gold Fury has respawned, but Cryptik don't feel like they can go for it quite yet, and it's because sops is back and hanging around the objective. No relics for him, though, so he needs to be wary of exactly where Geno is with that Blink ultimate.
A lot of pressure from Salsa Squadron around this Gold Fury pit. 4 members on this side of the map. while there's still members of Team Cryptik who backed and are just making that trek in now. Salsa Squadron just going to try and go for these oracles. Vetium is here, though, as a ShadowChair to try and help, but not enough. Salsa Squadron get both those oracles.
So what? It didn't end up being a Jade Emperor's crown for SmiteVOD in the jungle. Instead, it's that Celestial Legion helm. So a little bit more physical protection. You see the stacks on it. Those are stacking physical prots, and those get stripped away whenever an enemy physical god hits you. But that Enkile for yunglad has been so instrumental in stopping the channel damage from the Tremble. I mean, Sam has been trying to get big Trembles off in the middle of these team fights, but as soon as he hits yunglad, that Silence Pulse comes out, and whether it's the Tremble or the Blink Stun or the Blink 1 into the 2, that stun combination is going to be interrupted, and Enkile is such a good item into Cabrakan in particular.
Now, not really pulling that gold for it, but just kind of helping out, clearing wards over on that side of the map, our Salsa Squadron. They don't quite feel confident going for it just yet. But I want to talk to you a little bit here about ShadowChair in his build path. Sometimes when we see that Lotus Crown, the Sylvanus, where they get those extra protections, the mids don't feel like they have to build protections in their own build.
And a lot of times Thoth doesn't want to anyway. The Salsa just stole away a Gold Fury. SmiteVOD is going to get locked down and punished, and Mineral actually gets pulled out of Vetium's Dark Portal. That means he's going to be able to get away. Geno won't be able to say the same. There's the ultimate from Bruh. And 2 quick kills for Salsa Squadron.
Sops might be in trouble, and he is. fineokay gets that one up. They're going to need a little bit more as this fight's gone heavily in Salsa's favor so far. Good taunt. Pulls fineokay back in. He's got those thorns going to try and return some damage. It does slow down the damage on him for the moment, and that'll create some space, but a good final judgment from ShadowChair takes out Sheyka.
That was completely blind. Shadow had no idea where Sheyka was. Just a solid guess. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill. ShadowChair finds it, and that's a big kill for Team Cryptik.
They needed to get something back off that. They'd already given up 2 kills in the Gold Fury, so at least return the 2 kills. Actually, Vetium might be able to get a little bit more here with fineokay's help. Bruh's very low. Bruh tosses the hammer to get a little bit of damage, but it's not enough. No one able to come in and help, and Vetium gets that kill too.
That ends up being close enough to Cryptik's favor. Salsa Squadron getting the Gold Fury means that they're the ones who come out ahead there, but overall, getting those kills afterwards, look at the uptick heading back towards Cryptik's side on the blue, and now with this Portal Demon likely to go down in their favor as well. Only yunglad around to try and steal it away.
Geno comes in and at least slows him down for the moment. It's enough. They were able to secure the Portal Demon. Now yunglad might be in no man's land, though. Surrounded by 4 members. Sops and Mineral are here, but Vetium with that ultimate came in too fast. Cleans up yunglad just for trying to contest.
Nice ult that time from Vetium, who hasn't had the best of luck with the Dark Portals thus far, but that one ends up connecting. Another good win for Cryptik, and this is where the experience of these SPL teams starts to really shine through. Yes, they lose gold, but they end up making some big plays on the backside of it, pick up some kills, then an objective, then another kill, and all of a sudden this lead for Salsa Squadron that was nearing 2,000 gold is now just about 1,000.
Another blink in from SmiteVOD. Not able to find Sheyka, though, so nothing more will come from it. But you were talking about the veteranship of this team, or at least an SPL team. These 5 members for Team Cryptik, they're not really the same team that earned that 7th place spot. At least it doesn't feel like it. It's almost a whole new roster that came in mid-split. So we really kind of don't have an idea of just how good Team Cryptik is, and they're showing us with these strong calls just where they stand.
Sops trying to take it to ShadowChair on this left-hand side, but Shadow understands how much damage Sops is doing. Remember, he was the one who found the 1v1 on the bottom right-hand side. Love the fact that Vetium's here team fighting as Geno off the mark that time with the Wrath of Terra. Vetium's got the Executioner done. He's working what's going to be a chin size most likely. Good opportunity for him to get out of there.
Sops now has that Defender of Olympus being channeled on him, but they don't want to push into the tower anymore. Yunglad rotating in, only Geno on this side to try and help out their mid laner as Vetium now rotates in too. Yunglad gets pulled back in though by Geno. A strong pull, but immediately forces out the ultimate from Yunglad. Final Judgment's not quite enough, but at least it hits. Yunglad's gonna have to retreat.
The Enkile again saving Yunglad's life. The pull procs the Enkile after Geno throws down an auto attack, which means that SmiteVOD couldn't follow up with CC of his own. Itemization once more, saving the life of Salsa Squadron's jungler.
Now Yunglad getting to get away a little scot-free after playing really aggressive into the enemy jungle. Good coordination from Team Cryptik, but again, just barely not able to secure that kill. Now they head back to parity, and again, despite the small lead Salsa Squadron had earlier on, gold is all but evened up at this point. Team Cryptik are ahead a few kills 19 minutes in, but don't let that fool you. This game is just about dead even. And
don't let the 0-4 scoreline for SmiteVOD fool you either.
Yeah,
he's had a really solid game setting up for a lot of what Cryptik has done so far in these team fights. Now, it does need to be a little bit more conservative with his positioning after the blinks. A lot of times he's blinking in, stunning one member, and then just kind of trembling and accepting his fate there in the midst of the team fight. Once he starts to get some more items, he's finished off the Void Stone now. That's going to be a big help for Sheyka's damage, which is significant at this point. Look at his build. He went for the Book of Thoth, the Spear of Desolation. A lot less utility than a lot of Janus's like to play. Much more focused on his damage numbers.
And he's playing the build the right way. He's playing aggressive. So I'm glad he built this way for damage, because that's what he's looking for. We've seen through Space and Time used more for damage than for mobility this game. So Sheyka at least recognizing his playstyle as Geno meets 2 in mid.
And Vetium is caught up on this dual lane side as well. Level 17, the same level as Sops. They both have Chin size completed after their Executioner. Now, Sops is able to hold on to his starter item, where Vetium had to sell his in order to finish off that power item, but basically still the same amount of damage.
And once again, aggressive positioning from Cryptik as they look to invade on the speed buff. Bra, Mineral, and Yunglad are here, but unable to slow down the invade. Sanford Soccer takes that one, but it's Sops who's in position at the Gold Fury, and they start pulling it right away. Vetium's still on this side of the map, but already so much damage put to this Gold Fury.
Vetium gonna throw out that Spectral Projection, slow down Sops, and look at the damage! Dark Portal as well! Sops has the beads and just able to escape. ShadowChair the focus from that dazzling offense from ShadowChair, but Geno's looking to solo down Sheyka by himself.
Sheyka has to run away as Yunglad is able to come back in and clean up ShadowChair. Yunglad's still here. The pull's enough to pull him back in one more time. Vetium, fineokay, and Geno all surround him, knock up. Vetium gets credit for that kill and for stopping that Gold Fury pull. Vetium came up huge in this engagement.
And now it's Cryptik on the Gold Fury. Bruh's here, but still has his ultimate. Got to be wary of him teleporting into the Gold Fury, and that's exactly where he's heading, right into the back line. And Vetium gets knocked up in silence, but he doesn't care. He's still got the autos.
Yeah, that might not have been the best call. Bruh goes back in and gets deleted for his trouble. The root comes out from fineokay. Mineral and Sops both stuck in place for the moment as Geno and Vetium turn their attention back to the Gold Fury, but Sheyka is lurking around the back.
Has that unstable vortex. Look at where the pull is. He actually pull it away from where Sheyka's standing. No ward coverage there, I don't believe, for Salsa Squadron, and Cryptik end up walking away with the Gold Fury in tow.
Cryptik played that Gold Fury fight so well. Vetium rotates in and is able to stop them from doing the damage by nearly killing Sops in a 1v2. So much damage, just barely not enough. Then the rest of his team rotates in, as you said, correctly pulling the Gold Fury away from Sheyka's damage too.
There's that changed Izanami, man. That Dark Portal comes out so quickly now that caught Sops off guard. Even with an Aegis, it was still probably would have been forced out, but accuracy from Vetium, and this is what you want from your late game hunter. Sops is running this left-hand side in the early game, but I can have my ADC lose early game all day long. That doesn't bother me. When it comes time for ADCs to make their pay, to really start to earn their worth, it's the late game. It's the mid game even right now with how much farm they're getting, and Vetium's there, and he's doing much more than Sops is.
And Team Cryptik are there at the Portal Demon. Yunglad and Bra are here. Mineral in the back as well as Sops is rotating over. Yunglad gets pulled in, and now that's the commitment. Athena knocks him up. Geno finishes him off. The through space and time comes through this time. Doesn't really hit anyone of consequence, and the Fire Giant pulled for just a moment. Portal Demon still leashed as well at about half health as Sanford Soccer and fineokay try and establish a front line.
Vetium down below half HP, but has the lifesteal from the Devourer's Gauntlets. He's looking to chunk through Bruh. fineokay doing a nice job of zoning everyone away. Dark Portal opened up and Final Judgment there as well, but it's still not enough to keep everyone from Salsa Squadron off of Sanford Soccer.
Sanford Soccer does end up falling. Now the Portal Demon, which was still very low, gets pulled by Salsa. Vetium at least cleans up Bruh and Trey, but the Portal Demon falls. Thoth comes in, and it's ShadowChair who pays for it. He's gone back to base. Vetium looking to trade with Sops. Not quite enough. Sops cleans him up for the double and is looking for more.
Now still healthy, and here comes Yunglad through the portal. fineokay looking to clean up Sops, and with a leap will be able to do so. It may have cost him his own life in response. In comes Mineral. Sheyka back as well. Another kill for Salsa Squadron. They get 4 members.
And they're going right for fire. They're going to go right for the Fire Giant. Salsa Squadron have a chance to get this. Only Geno is alive, so sure he can walk in, but it's going to be really difficult for the Cactus to try and contest this one. They don't have a lot of big bursts, but I got to think the Unstable Vortex is going to be enough. Geno really can't even find his way in. He blinks. Athena knocks up Sheyka. Younglad's trapped in it, but Salsa Squadron do secure the Fire Giant, and Geno might have to pay for it.
Sheyka almost ended up falling there to the damage from Athena and Wisps, but good job by Salsa Squadron keeping their eye on the prize. They get the Fire Giant in another team fight. goes their way. ShadowChair dashing in to try and steal away the Portal Demon is what really sends all of that in Salsa Squadron's favor. Look, if Salsa Squadron get a couple kills, they get Portal Demon, but ShadowChair, Vetium, everyone lives, fine. You know, no big deal. But it's ShadowChair dashing in to try and save it. So Vetium turns, then he realizes Sops is low. He's probably dead anyway, so I'm going to dash in. Well, he gets 1v1 with the 2 low-health hunters. And then it's fineokay. Well, now I have to be the one to clean up Sops, but he dies for it. Just one decision that goes wrong for Cryptik ends up in a big waterfall against them.
Fire Giant now around Salsa Squadron. They have enough 4 members. Couldn't quite get it onto Sops. They're up about 2,000 gold, but that could change quickly now that they're able to destroy these towers. All 6 towers are still up on the map for Team Cryptik, so there's a lot of gold for Salsa Squadron to be able to farm from this map. And this is where you really start to see the lead in close games break out. It's when they go in and get these structures.
And there's not a lot that Cryptik can do about it without coming over sooner. This tier 2 already gone. Too late to defend this one from Cryptik. I feel like they can defend the tier 2 in mid or in right, should they so choose, but I like this patience from Salsa Squadron. Gold Fury's going to be up in about a minute, so let's just get our tier 2, the 2 towers on left, so that when we do go for gold, there's less room for Cryptik to run away. Now let's get the mid tower. They've got a choice now. Do they back up and reset to spend and get ready for the Gold Fury fight, or do they keep on pushing?
Looks like the call is to keep pushing. fineokay lurking around the side of the fight. Sheyka, everyone comes over to 5-man split the camp. They want to go over to the tier 2 on right, and this is a good call. They were set up for the defense on tier 2, so try and break them up. Force them to come over and make a defense on this side. They're going to take this tower. They'll have a chance now if they choose to go back and defend Gold Fury, as he said, because now looking like tier 2 on right probably won't happen.
With all members of Salsa Squadron backing this, could have been an opportunity for Cryptik to go for Gold Fury, but they got pulled over to this right side of the map. They couldn't allow Salsa to push all the way down to the right side tier 2, so it would have been really, really close if Cryptik wanted to try and burn it down. But look at how quickly everyone's able to get out of base and come back. Gold Fury still not up, and remember, with through space and time being available for Salsa Squadron, Cryptik probably wouldn't have been able to pull that objective anyways. That's exactly where Salsa Squadron's heading.
Cryptik do need to make sure they're in position for it, though, instead focusing on pushing out minion wave on the left. That is the side where the Phoenix is exposed, so it is high priority to get those minions away from it, but already moving over to that Gold Fury pit or Salsa. Mineral has a pull for the moment, but yunglad, sops, Sheyka are all here, and it looks like Cryptik are going to have to let this one go, and Gold Fury for free going down to Salsa.
This one's tough, man. I mean, down 5,000 gold and a Fire Giant, that's a tough ask to tell a team that they need to get in there and defend that objective, but we see so many teams just kind of let a team that's slightly ahead with Fire Giant take and take and take and take, and then for the first time they're able to contest and they lose it, and they're like, oh, see, we couldn't fight a team with Fire Giant. Well, it's because you just gave up 7,000 gold worth of stuff, and now they are that far ahead. That Gold Fury right on the line on whether or not it should have been defended by Cryptik. This tier 2 needs to at least show some sort of presence. They can't afford to give up everything for free.
Mineral taunts in, but Geno immediately responds with Wrath of Terra, pulls Mineral back into damage, but it's yunglad who goes into the back to try and slow down the damage coming out from ShadowChair, forces out the Aegis. Now he's got Brought here to help out with him. Vetium, they need to turn and try and help him out. fineokay does clean up Sops. He's up there 1v3ing alone.
And Mineral's very low. He might be able to find another one because Sheyka's forced to portal away, but Bruh is able to find Vetium all the way back here by the Phoenix.
To me, that fight goes almost single-handedly to fineokay. The fact he's able to keep 3 members busy by himself and pick up a kill is huge for keeping that tier 2 tower standing. Now he's fighting down 3 members. I don't know if he can do it again. Geno's here. No Wrath of Terra available. Does get the root off, and they're on the escape path.
fineokay is still willing to fight at least a little bit because ShadowChair's lurking around that corner. Nice final judgment from ShadowChair in that fight. Brought Mineral down very low, clipped another member. It ends up being helpful for them.
Sanford Soccer still being aggressive in the mid lane, though. He's pushing and trying to see if he can make any more fighting happen. Bruh still here, as is yunglad. Taunts in Sanford Soccer, but not the ideal target. yunglad now has to come through the back if he wants to commit to this. The Tremble going through. Bruh using to stand in place, drop the ult, and silence him out as he makes his escape, but now yunglad has to use his ultimate.
2 defensive ultimates from the 2 warriors on the right side of the map for Salsa Squadron. Not a big win, but a small win for Cryptik. And because those 2 ultimates are down, there's a good opportunity for them to try and pull this Portal Demon. But Vetium isn't here quite yet. This is a numbered fight for Salsa Squadron.
The portal's enough to slow down Sanford Soccer. Actually takes a whole bunch of damage from it. Rathatera back up and used again. Final Judgment comes through, and it does bring Sops very low, but they're still going onto the Portal Demon. Salsa Squadron are able to secure it, and they get out with their lives.
Man, Sheyka again on this Janus. That Portal and Unstable Vortex combo nearly one-shot Sanford Soccer, who does have a little bit of magical protection with that Void Stone, but not a lot, and still going for more physical protection with his next item after selling out that Bumba's Mask. Rod of Tahuti being done for Sheyka. He has had a huge impact in this game so far.
Yeah, Sheyka has gone that full damage build, and he's about as online as he'll be this game. I mean, he's got more to go, but this is the damage that you want from Janus. He's having a big impact for him here so far, already starting up the Fire Giant in the back, while Mineral and Bruh keep Geno zoned away. Already at half health here, aggro, and really they're not even going to have a chance to get in. Geno might even pay for it with his life. One more good portal comes out. Now comes out the ultimate from the Chaac on Bruh. They take the Fire Giant, and everyone's also pretty low. Through space and time, brings the whole team aggro.
ShadowChair down to one shot, and yunglad and Sops are going to finish it up for him. Now double kill for Sops out of the Hunter role. Sheyka earns one of his own. That's fourth for him. Salsa Squadron take the lead in kills. They get the Fire Giant. They get the tier 2 on right, and they can march right down into this Phoenix.
Well, Professor Aggro, you said this was going to be the test for Salsa Squadron. How are they looking so far? Coming in, giving Cryptik a real hard time in game 1. And can they end off this aggro? They're here.
I think they can. They've got 5 members here. No ultimates for them, but not a lot of damage left from Sanford Soccer. Sop's going to be able to find him. Vetium's forced back to base, and Salsa Squadron 3 in a row. 2 in a row against ALG. Now only 1 win away from moving on to play tomorrow.
And they're going to keep playing that Amaterasu pick. If no one has an answer to it, they're not afraid to keep picking it. They're looking really good. Now, up 1 game, only need 1 more here against Cryptik.
If I'm Cryptik, I'm banning Amaterasu, no question here.
Yeah.
It's not a matter that Yunglad is carrying the game on this Amaterasu, but Salsa Squadron's in the zone right now. You gotta take them. You gotta take them out of that comfort zone. You gotta make them adjust to what you are doing, because right now Cryptik, just like Allegiance was in the set before, is adjusting to what Salsa Squadron is doing. So can Cryptik kind of identify that and take them out of that comfort zone?
Well, we'll get